Okay, so now we need to build our function. This lecture might be a bit longer and might seem a bit difficult to you in the beginning, but not to worry about. We will go everything step by step and see how to perform what we are trying to do here. Let me just take it down. So in the previous video, what we have done, we have called a function which we will be writing in the client side controller, which in turn will call the method of server side controller and pass in the required thing. So let's add fname here so that it will say I am coming from server plus the name which we will pass it here. Okay. Saving. It's saved. Okay. Now let's go to our JS. What's our function name? Echo. Okay. So we will change this to echo. And it will take only component. Let's pass it only component here, and let me clear out everything from here. Let's start from scratch. Okay, so first of all, what we will do, we will call the method of the server and store the return into a variable. Okay, so let's say we define a variable act equals to component dot get c dot server method, the method of the name server method. The name of the method server method is there. Okay. Since our component is already linked to the controller here, so we have access to its methods and all. Okay. So we can directly access them here and store the return value into this component dot get the server method here. Okay. Now let us set some parameters, and to set parameters, act dot set params is the keyword. These things might look difficult in the beginning, but as more and more you practice, these will be on your fingertips because these are standard methods. You just need to mug them up. Okay. Set params, and what is the variable name here? Fname, and this fname get skills, we are passing it to the method as string fname. Okay. So we will set this fname here and pass this fname to this fname so that we can receive this back and we can do some operations on that. Okay. So fname colon component dot get v dot fname. Okay. So we have got the v dot fname from here, from the component, and passed that to fname. So we are setting this param to this so that this can go here. Okay. And we will simply close our statement here. So here we have set the params. Now there is a callback function. So there is a term called set callback, so that we can get the what is the callback from there. Act dot set callback. So to get the callback from the function, this comma function, and it will give you response, the response from the server. Now the response from the server could be the exact response, or it could be an incomplete response, or it could be an error, it could be a success. So we need to take care of all those things here. Okay. And inside this, now let's save this response into a variable. Let's define a variable var state equals to response dot get its state. Okay. Now the response has been stored into this variable state, whether it's success, whether it is incomplete, or whether it's an error. So if state equals to success, then simply give an alert. An alert we use a lot in JavaScript. So the syntax is very simple from server. Okay. So this is whatever in the there is the inverted quotes, it will be hard coded to the screen, and we can append some value, the variable to it. So response dot get return value. Whatever was returned in the response, get that value, and this is the alert statement. It closes here. Okay. So if state equals to success, alert the response from the server. Okay. And we know what the response will be. We already know that I am coming from server with the name which we will pass. This will be the response. So it will alert that if everything is success. So this if opened here, this if closed here, and this one is here, and this one is here. This one is here. So you need to ensure that your brackets and everything are in order, so that you don't get any syntax error later. Okay. So if state equal to success, alert from server, alert this. Else, if state equals to incomplete, then you can alert anything else that state is incomplete. Whatever you want, you can do that alert. Let's keep it blank. We don't need this. You can even alert here that the state is incomplete or the response is incomplete. You can simply do that. Else, if state equals to error. So you can use that error. You can do various things with that. Right now we will only log that to console. Okay, I'll just state equals to error. What we will do, we will store the errors into a variable errors equals to response dot get error. You see, it's very simple. When it was success, we were simply taking back the value. But if in case there is an error, so we will get those errors here. Okay. And if errors, if there is something in the error, if the error is true, then log those errors to the console. Although you didn't needed this if, but as a standard of programming, as a standard practice, we should always have these conditions plus error. Okay. And then this bracket is closed here. In the end, there is a standard method as well. If you want to concatenate or enqueue them everything into one thing, then even there you can have a global variable $a dot enqueue action. And what was the variable name? ACT. Okay, everything is fine here. Everything is saved. Let's go to our controller. Let's go to our application and let's preview it now. So I will click on connect to server. $a dot enqueue action is not a function. Okay. Let me check if I made some syntax mistake here. Okay, there is a spelling mistake. UE, enqueue, ENQUE, enqueue action. Now I will save it. I will go to my app, refresh the page, and now if I click on this, it should give me the pop-up. Yes, from server, I am coming from server get skills. Okay. So I am coming from server get skills f name. It got passed from here, and from server is here. From server was here plus the response. Response was because it was success, so I got the response back. Had there been an incomplete, it would have been blank, and had there been an error, the errors would have gotten logged into the console. We would have not seen anything on the screen. Okay. So hope it was simple. We define a variable and we call the server method. We set the parameter, pass the parameter to the function because it takes the f name parameter here of type string. We have passed that here. Then By using set callback method, we get the response back. If the response is success, we print that response on the screen. If it is incomplete, we do nothing. If it is an error, we print the errors to the log.